Let's go over 4 tips for building a successful e-commerce store. If you don't know who I am, my name is Devyn Merklin. I was the CMO for livinggooddaily.com, which we grew from 0 to over $50 million in annual revenue. I've played around with other e-commerce things over my career, including karmaspeed.com, offset.com, and a bunch of other e-commerce ventures along the way. But let's jump right into it. If you're just getting started, or even if you're in the intermediate, this might be a really good refresher. But the 4 tips that you need to know, and plus 1 bonus tip. So number 1, absolute most important thing is product. And I'm sure you're tired of hearing this if you're watching a lot of videos on this, and this isn't the first video you're watching when it comes to starting an e-commerce store, but it's product. You want to make sure that your product is actually amazing and it's actually good. It delivers the result that the consumer wants. Because if it can't do that, marketing won't save you, advertising won't save you, sales won't save you. All that kind of stuff is meant to complement a really good product. Your product needs to be really good at the end of the day. And whether you're manufacturing your own product, like you're building your own product, or you're going out and you're just getting started with a low amount of capital and you want to do drop shipping, print on demand, things of that nature, just make sure the product's actually good. Like for t-shirts, for example, you don't want to go find like a crappy t-shirt just because it has a really low cost, put something on it and start selling it, because people will review it. People will talk about it. This quality is bad, right? The marketing, the advertising only gets you so far. It's the product that you need to focus on. There's a lot of cool things that you can do nowadays with, kind of that print on demand, that drop shipping type feel, without it being like going to Alibaba.com and finding just a crap product that's been cheaply manufactured and it's going to break the second time somebody uses it. Do some research. Go out there, find something that's, one, trending in the right direction over a 5-year span with something like Google Trends, and then 2, finding a supplier or a drop shipper or kind of a platform that you can use to sell your product. If you're into supplements like I am, check out a company called Supliful. They're kind of like, if you've heard of Printful for t-shirts, they're kind of that for supplements, which is really interesting. They've got some good products on there. Some products you might want to stay away from because of the ingredients, depending on what side of the fence you're on when it comes to that kind of thing. But check them out if you're looking for supplements. But the number one thing is make sure you pay attention to your product, make sure it's good, make sure it's amazing, make sure it actually delivers a result. Number 2, that a lot of people probably don't talk about in other videos, but you want to find a way to get MRR. What does that mean if you're not familiar? Monthly recurring revenue. This is going to be the most crucial thing when you jump into e-commerce. The barrier of entry is lowering, so that's bringing in a lot more people. So it's getting harder to grow a business because costs of running that business are going up because that barrier is lowering. So you want to figure out how to get people in once and not have to pay for that customer again. MRR. You want to find monthly recurring revenue within your business or within your product to help build sustainability and help build a really large customer lifetime value, right? This is why I love supplements, because supplements are just there to supplement your lifestyle. They're not a fix. They're not like a specific product. It's something that somebody can use month over month on a recurring basis to supplement their lifestyle. So you want to be thinking about that. When you introduce your product, the main thing that you want to be focusing on is, how do I get somebody through the door and how do I keep them here month over month? And you can check out, if you're using an application like Shopify, for example, as your platform, as where you're selling, check out an application called Loop Subscriptions. There's a whole bunch of other subscriptions apps out there. I'm biased. I love Loop. I know the founder, just want to put that out there, but I love the app. Check that one out. It's a great way to set up subscriptions so that when people buy your product, they just auto renew every single month. Give incentive for somebody to get on monthly recurring. That's going to be the biggest thing when it comes to the sustainability of your business and the customer lifetime value. Okay, number three on the list is, we'll put an X here, do not build a store, build an offer. What does this mean? I see too many people jumping into e-commerce and thinking the very first thing that they should do is build an entire storefront. They see like, some kind of store out there that they aspire to look like, the aesthetic, how clean the pages are, the product pages, the about page, all this kind of stuff. And they go waste too much time building that when they're not focused on, how do I actually sell the thing? Branding and brand messaging is extremely important in the long run, But right now, if you're just getting started, you need to prove your concept. You need to prove your product, and you need to prove that you can keep people on your product. So once we have our product and we know that it's going to be good, it's going to be amazing, we have a plan to get people on subscription and get that monthly recurring revenue, we need to go sell the thing. And you don't sell people on a store, you sell people on the offer and a landing page, a singular page where people can go and purchase one product, but just an amazing offer. And you don't want to get them too distracted by going to the about page and all this kind of stuff. You want to prove concept first. You want to get sales through the door before you even worry about building out the store and all these other pages and all these other products. Just prove your concept first, drive them to a landing page, build an amazing offer, and then take them through your buyer's journey past that point, prove the concept, and then start building around it. And when I say offer, I don't just mean selling just your product. I mean stacking the value, figuring out what's going to sell with it. You can bundle it up, all this different kind of things. I can go on and on and on, but the point being is that you want to look at your product as an offer, and how can you construct that offering to be really appealing so that way you can sell it right out of the gates. You want to prove that concept first before worrying about building any kind of store. All right, and number 4, I kind of just said it, but it's sales over brand. And this is why. And I'll get probably a lot of people argue with me on this, but it's the same point I was just making, is that you want to prove that you actually have a business and that you can sell things before you're even worried about what color your button is on your webpage, right? This is what trips people up so much. For example, right now, we help a lot of e-commerce brands, we help a lot of e-commerce stores, and somebody's just getting started. They're focusing on what color is the bag need to look like, what color is the page, what does the store look like, what's the brand guide, all these kind of things. And we're literally spinning our wheels, just wasting time. 60 days has gone by and we haven't even sold anything yet. That stuff is extremely important in the long run, but what we need to do is get the bare bones branding out of the gates, figure out our offer, what we're going to sell, and then sell the thing. Go prove the concept before we spend too much time worrying about the branding and the brand messaging. Don't hear me wrong. This is extremely important. But what you need to establish first is that you actually have a business, and the only way to do that is to prove that you can get sales, and keep customers. And if you can't do that, then you don't have a brand. And so if you build a brand first, then you just have a shell of a business that can't sell. So you need to focus on getting sales to the door over worrying about your branding. All right, and bonus is once you've nailed all this kind of stuff, we'll put bonus right here. What you want to focus on is results. Now, you've heard me say this multiple times as I'm scribbling on this paper pad here, but you want your product to deliver results. And the only way you can do that is by assuming that your customer is going to use your product incorrectly and that you need to hold their hand in order to get them results. And I'm going to speak specifically to supplements, right? I mentioned earlier in this video that supplements are just there to supplement your lifestyle, right? And so if somebody buys your supplement thinking that it's going to fix a problem and it doesn't fix the problem, they're going to think, oh, this product doesn't work. But in fact, they need to take that product over insert extended period of time here, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, in order for them to see a result. And they need to be guided along the way to make healthier choices, because they can't be eating McDonald's and taking this product and assuming it's going to work. The point being is that you need to hold their hand and help them get the result. Even just because they bought your product doesn't mean they'll get a result. If you want to ensure a long-term business, a successful e-commerce business, you need to ensure that those customers get a result. And the best way to do this is by providing information and helping them apply that information. Not just selling them the product. Selling them the product's the easy part. Now you need to feed them information and help them apply that information so they can bake it into their lives. That way, when they go use your product, they know it's not just a magic bullet, and they know that it's adding to everything else that they're doing. That way, when we think about, because us as humans, we think about, okay, what's the easiest way from A to B? And we look at that product and we're not really taking into account that all the lifestyle changes, all the information I absorbed. We're looking at it like this: oh, that product helped me solve that problem that I was having. But in reality, we know they took in some information, we helped them apply it, and they were taking the product. Those three things in unison help them get the result. So the number five on the list bonus here is make sure you get them results. That's how you keep customers sticky. That's how you keep them around. That's how you build a successful e-commerce brand right out of the gates.